Hey YouTube, Daryl here, aka Soul Source, and I guess this is part two of choosing your nation for DomiNations. I apologize for the abrupt ending on the last video where I was talking about uh, the Roman wonder that basically all I was saying is that it generates troops, like it spawns troops to help defend the base during defending against an attack. So that's for the wonder. And I'll do another video probably tomorrow or Sunday, most likely tomorrow, about, hey, look at that. There's the wonder we were just talking about. So anytime you see that, it's going to have the countdown, same as a garrison or a stable, and start dumping troops out to help defend the base. We're still looking for that raid to get me enough food, and this one actually does have enough, but I'm not going to touch this base because I'm scared of it. Yeah, that base is pretty well leveled. And it's medieval age, which is the age ahead of us. So here's our target. We got 135,000 food, 117,000 gold. Watching the camels, they're going inside the walls. I don't really care about gold right now. Pretty much any gold I steal is just going to be available for other people to steal back from me. So we're going to attack both sides of this base and hope that because they're both over 100,000 and all the storage areas look empty, that the loot is going to be on the outside of the base. So we have a stable here on the bottom and a catapult. We want to avoid that for now and just start up top with deploying some of our heavy vandals. That was more than half. So, and then I'm just going to rush them into the middle here, which probably wasn't necessary, but I love that ability, so I use it a lot. So we rushed them into the middle, and we already have enough to start our next barracks, so mission accomplished. So we'll go ahead and attack down here. And there's another garrison, so I believe I have some low-level ranged units, which I'm actually not going to use. Yeah, actually, you know what? I am. There's only one person in my alliance right now, Robbie, who's also in Clash School. So let's go and rage these guys in here and try to get that stable. I say rage, but we're going to, whatever it's called. So yeah, we lost on this one, but I don't care. I don't really care about winning. I mean, I'm trying to win, but more importantly, I'm trying to see how different structures placed, wall layouts, like what's effective and what's not effective in the game. Like this guy just has a ton of troops out there. I love it, the way the defense works on this base. So 34%, I'm going to go ahead and end the battle and run away with our 135,000 food. So that'll work for me. And I'm going to go ahead and let the time count down because no need to necessarily start this yet. 25 troop capacity, so I'm going to put 28 here. And since I only have 2 barracks right now, I'm going to put the other 27 here. And I don't... Oh yeah, I'm full on my mercenary camp, and I'm already training, or whatever, getting my barrage ready. So back to nations. We're on to the Greeks. The Greeks, their nation power, basically they excel at architecture, so their building costs are reduced in terms of resources and time it takes. So if somebody really just doesn't want to have to spend a lot of money, I think it's again 5 to 10% discount. And if you couple that with Notre Dame, so let's say you pick the Greeks and you built Notre Dame, which gives you a technology discount and a unit upgrade discount of 10%, then you would be getting, let's see, less time to do a building, less resources to do a building, less resources to do unit upgrades and technology upgrades. So that's kind of cool. Unique units, the companion, basically it's just like the other one I mentioned that uses the cavalry troop, the horsemen, where you get a health bonus. So this one you get a health bonus on the cavalry troop, plus you don't pay as much to upgrade your buildings, which for me, I find with all these games, if you're active, you're going to fill your storages, have more than enough to upgrade your stuff. I almost didn't do Notre Dame. Really, the reason I chose it, it matches kind of the way the Germans look, which is funny because it's in France, but it's similar like architecture to me, and that's the main reason I chose that wonder. So let's talk about the Japanese. The Japanese is the one I see the most in raids, and I think it's because the nation powder is that the town center has defensive abilities. They're not substantial. Matter of fact, bluntly, I think they're very weak. Maybe, once you get to the Enlightenment age or the Industrial age, which is coming out in an update soon, maybe it'll be substantial. But right now, I come across, Japanese nations at the medieval age, and even with the second wonder you can choose, instead of Notre Dame, you could pick I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's a Japanese wonder. Anyways, it basically acts as a second town hall, or a town center. So you have to kill both of them to get credit for killing the actual town center. The unique unit for the Japanese is the Bushi, and it basically just deals more damage than other troops, and it's basically in place of my Vandal. So instead of the Vandal, it's the Bushi. So your town center defends, and you get a more damage dealing troop. Now the Bushi actually had less damage than the Vandal at the Iron Age, another player I was talking to, but it had more health. So I'd rather have a little bit less health and higher damage output. It's probably 6 1/2 dozen to the other, and really the same thing. So then we have the Romans, are the last nation that I'm going over, the 7th nation. Their nation power is basically you increase your overall troop capacity, so you just get more troops in your barracks to fight with. And then the unique unit is the Legion. So this is basically, again, like the Vandal. It has pretty much the same amount of attack as the other troops, not as much as the Vandal, but it has a lot more health. So it's going to really take a punch and be a little bit more of a meat shield with maybe some archers behind it, which I haven't really found a use for the ranged units except to put a couple in here and there to help take out the defending army, that the troops that come out and actually try to fight you off like we saw in the last raid. So that's why I picked the Germans. I think all in all, it's a cool addition to be able to actually pick your nation, have different building architecture style on all the unique buildings. All the defenses are pretty much look exactly the same no matter what nation you choose. But it is kind of a neat twist, just give something a little bit different. So I'm still very, very happy with my decision as the Germans. I actually spent like 15-20 minutes in game just reading them and trying to decide, knowing that whatever decision I make, I'm going to be carrying with me through the game. So I'm happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out these last 19 guys here and put them over here. And because I am done playing the game for the night, I'm going to go ahead and finish my market to level 5 and kill a bear. The bear will give me 8,000 gold at my level. And so I'm going to continue doing that kind of stuff and spend 150,000 food on upgrading my last barracks to level 4 so that when I wake up in the morning, I will actually have 65 troop capacity, and then I'm going to play around with some stronger comps. Like back early videos on my channel with Clash of Clans, I used to use the giant healer strategy at Town Hall 7, Town Hall 8. Town Hall 9 I ran pretty much drags and barge. So I ran drags to push to Master League back when Champ League was not 4,600, 4,700. Nobody was up that high yet. So it was a lot harder to get the Master back at the time when I made that video than it is today. Today you can do it relatively easy with, not much troop expense. You pretty much arch wherever you want and just take town halls. So I lost my train of thought, but bottom line is I'll keep making more videos. I'm going to try to get this game down a little bit and find some stronger attack strategies. Right now I've just been rushing in with my Vandals and taking loot so I can do upgrades. Before I sign off, I'm actually going to show an attack that I thought was awesome against Lord Blazon. So we'll go ahead and do this replay, and it seems like you can really rewatch a lot of replays. So now this guy was interesting. He had double walls on the bottom to get to his town center, but up top there's a gap. So I really just attacked this base for the loot. Didn't really care if I win or lose, but I always try to win. Again, trying to just test my capabilities. I mean, this guy has, you know, the troops coming out here, and you can see it regenerating again from the Colosseum. That's what it's called. I don't know why I couldn't remember that earlier. But so yeah, I pretty much got all the gold, pretty much got all the food, and my troops are getting very thin. So when you're actually raiding, it counts down and shows you how many troops you have left alive. So I rushed them in here to go after this town center, and all of their troops are closing in on me. I got all these defenses within range, so I'm just down to like very few troops. Saw those troops coming in on me. I dropped the barrage to kill the troops, and it actually killed the troops and the town center. I got 3 stars all at once, 52%, plus, you know, the vast majority, basically all of the loot. So 145,000 gold and 150,000 food, plus a diamond for the stolen trade good, and 3 stars, which is a good victory. So I was happy with that. Was not expecting it. Very happy. So all my walls are level 5. I'll be playing around with, I haven't even trained one yet, with the wall miner, which does 7,200 damage against a wall. Obviously weak at direct combat, but it'll do that powerful one-time attack against walls, which is what they're for. So, and you can go in and like it just tells you all about, like, it's just pretty awesome. Like there, almost everything in the game you can go in and learn a lot about. Like if you want to go into Notre Dame and learn about Notre Dame without, you know, going to Wikipedia, there's a little bit about it. Just very cool. It's got me captivated. So with that said, have a good night. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye now.